In Springfield, a celebration and fundraiser was held at St. Catherine of Siena Church on Parker Street. The event was celebrating the one-year liver transplant anniversary of Layla Cruz. Last year, when Layla was just 2 months old, she was diagnosed with biliary atresia, a rare liver disease that left her in desperate need of a transplant. Her mother tells Western Mass News it's been a long road to recovery.
I remember right after her transplant being told by doctors that she only had a couple weeks left to live. So honestly, that has changed my perspective on life.
All funds raised at today's event will go directly towards the family to help them pay bills and take care of Layla.